Rick was a man who couldn't bear the loneliness since his beloved wife, Anne, had passed away. The nights, especially, became unbearable, and so he decided to visit her grave on Halloween night. The moon hung low in the sky, and the wind howled through the old trees as Rick entered the cemetery. His wife's grave lay in a remote corner of the cemetery. As he knelt by Anne's grave, he heard faint whispers and murmurs, but he attributed it to the wind and creaking trees. Suddenly, he noticed that the earth around Anne's grave was moving, and with a dreadful crash, the ground broke open. Skeletal hands emerged from the grave, reaching out for him. Rick screamed in fear and tried to escape, but the creatures from the underworld caught up with him. They dragged him into the depths of the cemetery, where darkness and the cries of the departed swallowed him. A year passed, and the town forgot about Rick. But in the next Halloween night, something eerie occurred. From the old cemetery, a sinister figure arose, wearing a hollowed-out pumpkin as a head, with a terrifying grin shining from it. This creature, once Rick, returned to exact revenge on the living. He wreaked havoc in the town, spreading fear and terror, and no one could escape him. He had become a being of darkness, tormented by the underworld's torments. The town's inhabitants called him the Jack-o'-lantern of Death and desperately tried to hide from him. Halloween nights became a time of dread in the town, and Rick, once a loving husband, was now trapped in an endless nightmare, risen from the dead to torment the living. The legend of Rick, the Jack-o'-lantern of Death, was passed down from generation to generation, and the town's residents still tell it today, hoping they never encounter Rick in that sinister Halloween night.